Back. Our next story is about a student with autism. He's got a knack for numbers and an interest in football, and that combination made him a very important part of his high school team this past season. Here's Jason Andera.
A high school football team consists of kids with a variety of different physical skill sets. Those that are fast, those that are strong, and those that have a certain knack for the ball. But what T.F. Riggs High School in Byer, South Dakota has on its football team is a mental advantage. Head Coach Steve Steele has been using analytics throughout his 6-year coaching career to call plays from the sidelines. He's coached at Dakota State University in Madison, South Dakota, as well as T.F. Riggs. He is even a published author with the American Football Coaches Association on the topic.
You're using data, statistical data, to say, okay, statistically this play should be the one that we should call in this situation, so that way we can just say 2nd and 2, this is the yard line, boom, there's our play. And I said we had a lot of success with that my last year at Dakota State as well.
In college, Coach Steele had the help of assistants in crafting an analytical game plan. But when he switched jobs,
my first year here at the high school level, it was kind of just me.
Many coaches might scour the halls looking for stars who can catch the ball at crunch time. Coach Steele found his star sitting quietly in biology class, who is an expert at crunching numbers.
He's a guy where you never in a million years would have dreamed he'd have been a part of the football team, and he was not just a part, he was a huge, major part.
It's something I hadn't really done before with my math skills. I was also unsure and a little nervous. But it ended up being funny when I got to correct all of Steele's mistakes over and over again.
Like, well, if he's finding mistakes and all this stuff that no one else was finding, he's definitely the guy for the job.
J.C. Byer continued to interpret data to help Coach Steele and the Byer football team with play calling. J.C. grew up loving to go to Byer sporting events.
I can kind of still remember going to games when I was in grade school and being bothered by noises.
He enjoyed sports and wanted to go to them, but we would take him to sporting events and he'd have meltdowns.
Everybody has something going on in their lives, but JC's is autism.
Like many kids with autism, JC sometimes struggles with communication and social norms. His senses are extremely acute, but he's still able to share several gifts with the world.
For him, he is actually considered a math savant, so that's where his math comes from.
But I think his forte is his mathematical skills. He's very skilled in calculus, and I think Coach Steele saw that.
So what exactly does JC do?
Already from the stats that I've done to see which plays they've had the most success with, so they can learn which ones they need to figure out how to counter.
He was able to do more than I could have ever imagined. Typically one breakdown would take me about an hour for a game, and he could do it in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Coach Steele has a gift for putting people in the right positions on the field, but it was JC who helped put the players in the right position to get some wins. In 2016, they were under 500. In 2017, they marched all the way to the #1 seed in the playoffs.
Our team really made that our goal, was to get to the Dome so that he could come with us and, experience a trip with the guys.
Byer reached the 11 AA title game against Harrisburg, but the game didn't get off on the right foot for the Governors.
Usually I don't get too fed up with lots of football games, but considering that this was the grand finals and see if we could make this work, I got a lot worried, scared, and disappointed, a lot more so than usual. It's the point where Mom had to keep reminding me that it was just the beginning and there's plenty of time to make a comeback.
And I said, you know what, son? Win or lose, we are at the Dome. Think about the success that this team has had this year.
Despite an early double-digit deficit, Byer ended up winning the state championship with a fourth-quarter comeback. After sealing the victory with a late turnover, the Governors galloped across the Dakotadome turf, and Coach Steele made sure JC was a part of the celebration.
I didn't expect JC to storm the field with everybody else, but I said, seeing him run out there and seeing his energy, I said, seeing the big smile on his face, that's something you can never, ever forget.
A special moment for the team and for JC.
This has been huge for our family, actually. Coach Steele will always have a special place in our heart for seeing something in JC. It's challenging to be have a child who's got special needs. And when you can find those things that are going to make them successful, that's huge.
Football will always be a team game, from the players to the coaches and everyone in between. Pier won the 2017 state title with a special collection of individuals. But it was one particular kid who proved you don't need to be on the field to make a difference.
You should probably be proud of your ability and find ways to use the things you're good at to great effect. And don't focus on things that you can't or struggle to do.
I've got no doubt he's going to continue to do amazing things. So hopefully we're hoping we can lock him down to another contract for next year and that he doesn't go pro on us.
All right, JC really enjoyed being part of this championship team that night at the Dakotadome, but he had even more fun a couple days after that, is that right?
That was super overwhelming for him. When he got home at the welcome home event, though, he said that was his favorite part of the entire season. You know, his name got announced by the coach. He got some special recognition. He was pumping his fists up and down, and you know, that's really good for him. He's a guy that's really been trying to push his comfort zones, and this really pushed his comfort zone, but in the end, he said that was his favorite part.
All right, great story. Thanks a lot, Jason and Derek.